The thin red line stretched almost a mile through the streets of Rangoon. From Burma's holiest shrine, the monks marched toward the center of the capital, hailed as heroes by the watching crowd. Many joined the protest as numbers swelled to around 100,000 people. Burma has been under military rule since 1962. It has a population of 50 million people. In 1990, opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi won a landslide election but was never allowed to take office. The latest protest began last month when the military doubled fuel prices.
It started as a protest over fuel subsidies. It became a popular uprising against the generals and their policy of oppression. Throughout Myanmar, hundreds of thousands of people took to the streets calling for freedom and democracy. Such gatherings hadn't been seen here for nearly 20 years.
But after a month of growing support for the daily demonstrations, there are ominous signs that the military government may soon take action. Last night it broadcast a message denouncing the march and warning the protesters to stop. Pro-democracy supporters claim this is a turning point in a long campaign for freedom.
The army and the police have just moved in, violently putting down some of these protesters, beating them. I saw a lot of blood, people being arrested.
In 1988, the military killed more than 3,000 pro-democracy demonstrators. That hadn't been forgotten, and it wasn't long before shots were being fired. Myanmar's foreign minister had told the UN Security Council that police and army exercised restraint. At the height of the crackdown, something like 15,000 troops and riot police are estimated to have been on the streets. The government has admitted they killed 10 people, including a Japanese photographer. Observers believe far more died, but it is impossible to say for sure.
The Burmese leader! Right now! Right now! Release the Burmese leader! Right now! Right now! Military regime in Burma! No! No! Military regime in Burma! No! No! UN Security Council! Take action! Free! Free Burma! Free! Free! Free Burma!
Stop the killing! 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 Stop the killing!
I mean, Burma has never seen so much attention as it got in September and October. It was on the front page of every major newspaper in the world. I mean, I was in the airport in Korea and seeing it on the front page, above the line, on every single newspaper. And we've just never gotten that sort of attention before.
Prior to the September protests, it was very difficult to get a larger movement working. I mean, there were a few groups in New York working on Burma issues, but it was really September that brought people who hadn't really heard about Burma onto the streets, to vigils, protests, events where they could learn a lot more about the Saffron Revolution, what's happening inside Burma. So that was a great organizing tool for us.
We can clearly see in September of 2007, there are a lot of people who come out, who never get involved in political movements, because everybody see with their own eyes how much suffering of the people are. It's not only physical getting rally and stuff is happening. There are a lot of people more people get involved, more of the Burmese youths want to get involved.
resistant in the Security Council to working on Burma issues, and so trying to move China has a lot to do with work on an international level to get things done through the UN.
White Cock Olympic! White Cock Olympic! China, China! China, China!
I have founded a campaign that's going to focus on creating a global call for China to use its influence with the generals in Burma because of their vast investments in Burma to basically promote a democracy process, a genuine dialogue, an inclusive dialogue that includes the democracy movement and the ethnic groups. And we're going to be able to do that by generating a lot of attention about what's going on in Burma using the hook of the Olympics, basically the same thing that Dream for Darfur has been doing and the Tibetans have been doing, saying that China, as host of the Olympics, has a special responsibility and obligation to uphold the principles enshrined in the Charter of the Olympics, which are, based on human rights and brotherhood, peace, and education.
At this point, people have sort of dug in for